everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and in today's video we are going to be turning one big field into four, or more dividing it up into paddocks more than anything else. But as you can see behind me, I have my gator full of my organised chaos. You just don't pull anything out of it because everything will get tangled. It's organised. And I also have our Easyreeler with some rolls of piping and some wire we salvaged on it too to put out. So before we get too much further in the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you get notified of my videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. But anyways, we're going to tip up now to a rented piece of ground, and we're going to put up some fences to divvy it out for the summer, with the intent of being able to cut the middle bit in silage. We'll show you that when we go up there. But before we can do anything in that field, we have to fix up a fence in another field so we can bring power out that far. But anyways, we're going to be on up the road. I think I have everything I need. Do I have the sledge? I don't see the sledge. I better make sure I have the sledge, because I may have to drive one or two corner posts. The rest will all be going up temporary. Have a sledge? I have the sledge. So yeah, no, I should be okay at that. So anyways, we'll be on, and it is a bit of a miserable day too. So here we are. So that's our beans. That's where we sowed the beans. I don't think they're actually come up yet. They're still a bit off coming up. Father Phil has the pre-emergent spray gone out on it, but I still think they're in the ground. The cold weather really slowed them down quite a bit. Yeah, there is no sign, but field finished up lovely after Eric got the ring roller at it. But anyways, yeah, there's not much to see there. But when we had the cattle out just eating off what was growing there, they ended up pulling down this fence here, and this fence here goes to the hedge and then jumps across the hedge to power the other bit. So we need to get this fence all put back together, maybe put some new wire in it because I don't see a lot of it, and we'll have to put in a few pigtails or maybe drive a few posts. But anyways, that's the first job, is get this fence straightened out so we can go across into the next spot. And now that's that all put back. Now the wire that was there has disappeared. I don't know, I couldn't find, there was a small bit of it, but the most of it is new wire put in and some repurposed wire. As everyone knows, your temporary fencing, all the strands and that, I wouldn't be over that fond of them. And I found now, especially since we got this Easyreeler, I can roll up wire on it, making it very handy to roll up and relay out. And the soft tying wire, very handy. And there's one thing, this may look like it's perfect, but the strands of wire could be gone, not transferring the power. But you know when your solid strand of steel is gone, because it has to break. But anyways, that's that done. So now we'll go to the other side of the hedge and we start figuring out what we're going to do out there. Turn this big field into a couple of divisions. So we're out here now in the next farm field. So where is it? There. It's just there is where the power comes through. So we'll run one wire from there straight across over there. So I want to divide this up into a few bits. This field here is, I think there's over 50 acres without a bit of a fence. Now it is kind of in three fields, you could say. So I'm in one of them here, the hedge around it, but there's no wire, no fence, no nothing, just a bit of a dike and a few bits of trees, and then the same down there onto a bottom stretch. So I think what I'll do is we'll go one wire straight across up along this, we'll fence this field off, we'll go another wire up that way, we'll go with steel wire as often as I can to make sure that I have maximum power going into my temporary fencing. And we'll put the steel wire is only going to be temporary. Mostly up with pigtails. Anywhere where I need a corner, I'll drive a post, but we'll put all up with pigtails. It means I can take it down when it comes time to try and move cattle around, or give them more, give them less. That's one of the great things, and I just love the soft tying wire because it just makes, it's just so much easier handled than high tensile steel or even mild steel. The soft tying biggest end of it out here now. So we'll get one wire around that field there. You can see the cattle out there, they're on the front field now. They have it at. The plan with that front field the cattle are on at the minute is we're going to hopefully make some hay. We were debating about cutting the silage off. There's lost stone shores, I might show you when we get out that far. And it's just very hard, we're very dangerous with these stone shores where you hit them with the mower, you could lift stones to the harvest, so it's not really worth it. So we'll make hay, hopefully the middle of this field we'll cut pit silage off. We'll put a fence along the bottom to make a bottom field or paddock, because it's quite wet down there, it's rough, there's a few stones, big stones, so you don't want to be going down there with the mowers. So that's kind of what we'll do. So we'll get 2 wires up, and the plan is to have the cattle eat the middle of the field first. And the reason for that is I want to cut silage off this, and I want the cattle to get it so we can close it for silage. Now this all got slurry earlier in the year, and you can see there's actually quite a nice touch of grass on it. So I think to start off what I'll do is I'll run a steel wire along the back of the hedge up there to bring power out, or would that be a waste? Maybe better off bring steel wire around. See, I want to eat these 2 fields at once. I want the one down there. Yeah, that's a good point now. That's a good point. So I want to shut them off the bottom end of the field. I want to shut them off either end of the field to take the silage ground, you could say, first, so that can be ate and get closed up for silage, and then they can go on and graze either end of the field. The lazy man's way would be just let them out and let them ramble, but we've found it. I know a lot of, like, prior to me coming home there was very basically no paddock system. It was all free for all grazing, and yeah, it does the job. It's the lazy man's way to do it, but you don't get the most out of the land and the grass, especially when you're on rented ground, which we are at the minute. You need to get the very most out of it. You gotta get every last bit you can of it to try and make it pay, because rented land is not cheap. And yeah, I know some people say it's a waste of time with beef cattle, but I can tell you, we've seen the differences. Paddock grazing beef cattle, it definitely pays. Keeping that good grass ahead of them definitely is worthwhile. It does take time and effort, but so worth it. You just get that better response, you get better grass management, you just do a better job. So that is the plan. So I'm going to have to think a minute now, because I don't need a stock proof. The middle hedge is stock proof, so I don't really need to run a wire up there to get power to that end, whereas I could bring a power around this and bring it up that way, and that would still give me power up there. So yeah, I'm confused. What is my best plan of attack? Yeah, no, I think I'll come out and around, because it saves me going a second wire that way, and I can work off this wire here for dividing the field going that way for the silage, and then for later on after we cut the first, we'll get 1 cut of silage off this, that'll probably be it, and then we'll put some more temporary fences across it and we'll paddock graze it. But just to get started, we'll get 1 fence at the bottom, 1 fence at the top. We'll get power in it, we'll get them lads out of where they are and out up into this. Go that way, and back that way, and back, and that way, and then that way. Yeah, I think that's the best plan, so we'll stick with that plan. Anyways, yeah, we'll go back out here and we start laying off some fencing. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just on the Easyreeler, has to be said, Donal from Easyreeler, he sent us that Easyreeler last year for laying off drainage piping. We found it very handy. Anything to do with pipe, wire, as you can see there, rolling up, reeling off, very handy. Also sent us on, you can see under the pipes there, we have some little additions from the last time we used it to make rolling off and rolling up hydro piping a little bit easier, because it just expands that centre reel. If anyone's interested in checking out the Easyreeler, I'll leave some stuff in the description down below, but he did send it to us, we didn't buy it, just so ye are aware. It is sponsorship, yes, it's great to get sponsors and that, but it's just everyone has to know what the story is with it. But very handy, especially for rolling up the wire. Super handy, because you can't exactly roll up steel wire on a reeler, well you can on that. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to stop talking and get what I want to do done now. Yeah, so we'll get to it. So we have the wire now all up along that hedge, so we we drive a corner post here to hold that wire tight, and we'll go that way then. But I don't think I have enough steel wire with me to go all the way that way, so I might just put a second post in just past that gap and put a handle on it, and then go temporary fencing the rest of the way, or the poly wire, or whatever you want to call it, the rest of the way, and then come back down to split off the bottom of the field, because from this corner across to the other corner is a little bit too much. I know people will say this as a corner post you have to be codding, it's not that heavy for a corner post, but this is quite easy to drive and easy to replace if it does break, and cheap. There's also going to be no wild pressure on it because it is soft tying wire. It's not like I'm getting down chain out and pulling high tensile wire, so it'll do what I need to do. If it breaks, just drive another one in. Them posts I don't know, are even €1 compared to driving one of the big posts. You're talking a couple of €. I can bring up a tractor, you're talking a lot more to it. This is just easy peasy, lemon squeezy, it'll do the job. And then put steel wire to a gap there and anything temporary. I don't think I have enough. There's a lot of little bits of soft wire, but I don't think if I put them all together there's enough to justify the hassle of trying to put them all together. So we'll get a bit that just goes that far, it'll be good enough. It's a bit like rolling piping, so it is. You may just see it, I have the reeler of wire just hooked onto the end of the Easyreeler and just rolling it off. Makes this job that little bit easier, so it does. And hopefully there's enough there to go right round and do what I want to do. Hopefully. That's the one thing I'm a little bit concerned about. I'm not sure if there's enough on it. That stuff is chewed, that's not going to be a whole lot of good to me. No, it's just the way it rolled up. So if cattle were to chew, if cattle chew these wires at all, it often breaks the little strands. So there's little strands of metal. You hardly be able to see them. Like, I don't know whether I'll be able to even point one out, but there's these temporary wires, or as we call them, they're full of little strands of metal. And when they break, that stops the power going through it, even though it may still be there connected. But if them strands break, and they're only tiny, it doesn't take a lot to break them, they break, you're at nothing. So also the cattle know, I think they're kind of know what's going on. They seem a bit agitated. I keep rolling this out slowly but surely. It's faster than walking. So that just worked out very good. Still have wire on the roll, and I want to leave it there so that if I need to, I can adjust that either way depending on how the cattle eat grass. And also I can roll it up, bring it back to the gate to let them lads in, because I don't want them to start there. I want to start there. I also may pull that back that bit because there's 45 cattle to graze this, I think. Yeah, no, it's 60. Ooh. Trying to remember how many cattle where. No, it's 45 the other side of the road. There's 62 here, or 60 cattle here. So yeah, no, there is actually more cattle here. Yeah, so there's actually some of the speckled parks there, so we'll have a look at them. I think there may be a Jersey boy, so we'll show you them when we're moving them. I may move that back while I get them out here, but I have to go home now because there's cattle going at 6 o'clock. It's 5:30, so I got half an hour to get home, get 6 cattle out of the shed, weigh them, and be ready for the factory. So yeah, better be on home and get that sorted, and then we'll come back up here and finish. One more wire to put up, pigtails to put up, and a drinker. Hopefully I can get there, but I have to get the waters over at the road from the mains. There's a new pipe gone in, so I have to get it right over to there. So yeah, still a bit to be done, but we better go get another few ladies away to the factory. We'll be on home. Oh, that reminds me. So, we're here with bro. Hi bro. He's finally surfaced for the day. To do a bit of work in the evening, 7:30.
Go away.
So, we're back after having the tea and we have our wire up now and the cattle are loaded now. So bro, see the hand? I'll go take off the handle. Okay. So, anyways, we're just back up here now. We've one more wire to put up and then all the pigtails, move the cattle, roll out the water pipe. We may have to do that tomorrow. This should be okay for a drink. Oh, beeper! Best fencing tool because it beeps. There's power. Further it beeps, more power it is, but it is all on the ground there. But we just turned on the fence when we were coming through the yard so that we wouldn't have to go back into the yard to turn on the fence to see if we power. So hooking this off here, hook it off, deadens all of the fencing we're after putting up. Yeah, so anyways, we got to put up one more wire. We have it on a reel, hopefully there's enough on it, might not be. And then stand in all the pigtails, check to see if we've power, and then move the cattle. So you ready bro for a hard evening's work? It looks like it anyways. So bro's laying out pigtails. I run out about 50 yards short, so I go back and get the gear. But I was just walking back, I kind of never noticed it before. Look at the trunk on that tree. Not too often you see a tree trunk like that. Trunk, trunk, trunk. Yeah, I noticed the forest in Poland has a whole forest like that, but that's pretty cool all the same. So, I hope that's not touching the tree now. You have the wire all above it.
Go look.
Yeah, we're cutting across here because there's some bits falling off that tree. Now this area here is a bit like an old fairy fort. He has it off it. And this time round we'll let the cattle eat it as if it's part of that. When the cattle come off that, we'll rearrange our fence. We'll try and have it that the bit we're on now, as you can see, the bottoms, we could call it, to this farm. The bottoms to this farm isn't not all grass grows down there. It's very odd bit of ground, very peaty. You say bog nearly, but we'll have it that delete that side of them trees. We'll fence off this area we're on now. Then we'll be able to give them this while on that bottom square, and then give them around the trees then as an extra bit, because this will probably be one of the last places they eat, hopefully, before we have to let them back out onto either of the bits of ground I want to hopefully cut in silage. Our whole plan is this year is to make sure our cattle graze right. Normally cattle kind of start wherever and they finish wherever, and it never works out well, but this year I want to make sure cattle start the silage ground so that we always have a good flush of grass come May. Here's a bit of tin in the middle of the field. Why that's there I don't know. We always have a great flush of grass come May when we'll be cutting silage. Most of the time we can't cut it because it's on fields that aren't safe to be mown. So trying to make sure that this year that all the fields that can be mowed are the ones that just trying to manage the grass that we can cut more silage, because we'll probably see, with using less fertilizer, we'll probably see a reduction in tons of grass. And also when it comes to the second cut, with not putting out any fertilizer in that, we also won't have as much grass ahead of cattle, so we'll end up grazing more of our silage ground that we would normally keep for a second cut. So we need to make as much as possible in the first cut, as when the first cut comes round, calves are only coming off the feeders going out to grass, they're not eating a lot, but come second cut and later, them calves are eating a lot more grass, but they need more ground to keep them going. So that's the theory. Anyways, we'll get this fence whacked up. So we're starting to run out of pigtails. Bro, we're not out till we're out. Keep going and space them out nicely. Also, yes, there is dog food in the back. That's for Roxy the Rottweiler. A few more there to get out, but yeah, we are starting to run out. So we have our pigtails all along there. We may have to go, I think Bro put them in a little bit too strong, so we may take some out of that, but I still have to go back down that hedge and back across. So yeah, it's gonna be a tight one. So I'm just putting pigtails on the bottom headline, but obviously you've seen this. And yeah, I nearly got stuck here with the tanker. Like, when I mean nearly got stuck, spreading along, couldn't get out, had to back. As you can see, the tracks left a fair bit of marking in the ground. Don't think the roller will take it out now, but yeah, that was last back end. Just about got stuck. But anyways, I didn't. That's the main thing. Anyways, we'll finish up this fencing and we see what power we have. So, fence up, power on. So we tested it. About a foot away is 2000 volts. That's about a foot. So keep going, keep going, keep going, still beeping. And that's why I love that mild steel or soft tie-in wire, because you get that high voltage and easy put out. So anyways, we go.
Touch it.
I'm not going to touch it, bro. Put this somewhere and
give it to me.
we go check the rest of the fences and we get the cattle out here. That end of this fence is great. Right, bro, get out to about as far as the rush there. Here, I'm going to move the gator. Gator's in the wrong spot altogether.
They told me that you were doing this.
Well, bro, I said I was rolling it up. I don't know what on earth. Oh, he does bewilder me at times. Anyways, let's just move this over. No, boys, out we go. $55, there's a Jersey boy. 59, 60, that's them all there. So you may have spotted the two Jersey boys looking very, very rightly, if I do say so myself, and two speckled parks out there. So two extremes, our two best bred animals and our two, you could say, worst bred animals. But very happy with how the Jersey boys are looking. Right, bro, you just keep that and wave that at them there. So anyways, I get this other lad across and we'll go chase after them, and then we'll put this fence up. I'll keep them up off this, but there's one more guy out here. Paddy last. There always has to be one. Come on, you! Before he runs off up the field the wrong way. So, that's the cattle where they should be. So, just put the pigtails, wire back in the pigtails. Just double check this one is working. And yeah, they're golden. Starting to get a bit dark. If it gets dark, I'll be at the pipe. We'll come back and we'll do it first thing in the morning, and hopefully they won't have escaped, which I would reckon there's a 50-50 chance that they will have. So we'll get this up quickly and get power in this half of the fence. Come back, we'll put this up, we'll come back up in the morning and we'll sort out the water, because I need to see what's happening so I can get it through the hedge or whatever I have to do. So yeah, so get this sorted. So now it's the next day, morning. Bro is here with the 6290 and the 10-foot roller. He's going to roll the field. The cow, the bulls come off. Me and Father Phil are going to go set up this water pipe. So that's what we're going to do now. What's wrong?
Bring that pipe over there. It's not being used now.
It's not being used. Oh. That goes all the way down.
Yeah, so that's across the field up there first.
Oh, okay. Sound. Well, we'll go get the reeler and we'll be able to roll it up.
No, it's not. Just drag it upfield.
Drag it upfield. Okay. There's a pipe going down that way. We'll get lifted. Bring it up to where we're going, and hopefully Bro doesn't get stuck. Could be quite wet in that far corner there. So that's that pipe relayed along here, and it's just long enough to get across. So now we'll go pick up the trail reeler again, and we'll go lay our piping across to just over there where the blue reeler is, and pump our drinker there, and that's the cattle with water. So happy days. That's Easyreeler on. We'll lay out the last bit of piping we need. So just have the drinker set up, but we have to get a connection for where the two pipes meet as we go from heavy gauge to light gauge piping. So we didn't have one in the gator, so Father Phil is gone to meet me mother over at the gate. So I'm just sitting here. I had to move that fence back a bit. But here's one of the Jersey boys. How are you, boss? How's me friends? No? So that's one of the Jersey boys. That's one of the Jersey crosses. And there's the speckled park behind them. Anyways, yeah, so just waiting. But just about finishing, bro, is rolling away. Rolling away. Happy days. Or quite happy, so that. So we have water. So just check the ball cock is working. So yeah, it's shutting off. So happy days. Cattle have water. So that is a big field divided into 4. Where the cattle are on the biggest square, hopefully we'll get silage off it or hay. They probably won't have it eaten. We'll take them off in 2 weeks regardless to close it up. They won't eat it in 2 weeks. I wouldn't think there's a lot of grass on it, but we'll help tiller it up in that. But then once we get a cut off it, then we'll probably divide that into another 3 and then raise it out like that. Well, I'd say that's it. But anyways, look, we're going to leave it at that for today's video. If you want to find out more about the Easyreeler, there'll be links in that in the description down below. And that is it from us. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Good luck.